Yas Marina Circuit to run out of top form and features 21 cars over scenic waterfront left. Top speeds of around 325 kilometers per hour can be achieved with an average speed of over 90 kilometers per hour. A very normal normal day of 10 to 8 man from a top parade several hours for the pinnacle of motorsport. Hamilton was looking to yet another championship. Red Bull Race is the most successful at Yas Marina, with Red Bull winning the North Abu Dhabi GP in 2000. After 9 years of Red Bull RF1 Tom was GP on tech soil back in 2008. Came out with Ferrari at Baton. Yas Marina Formula 1 further heading up to the
Hello everyone and welcome to this America series. I think it's round 13 now. We're in Abu Dhabi and this championship is really tight. Let me have a look at the standings. I'll tell you a little more about it. So in first place we've got 55 cents, which is actually the leader at 228 points. And we have Sublime, which is 3 points behind in second place, and Profil, which is 1 point behind Sublime and 4 points behind 55 cents. So we have a three-way battle heading into one of these last round this year. Other battles that we will have on track, pretty much all the midfield. Surgeon Bildo is currently 7th. Hell Chris is 5 points behind. Dirty Diesel 7 points behind. Tukarizi 1 point behind him. So, and it goes on and on and on until Trevor, Mitch, Mr. Nas, and Insing's party. So it's a very, very tight championship. A lot is in play at the moment. Concerning the constructors, pretty much win by McLaren at this point, unless they have very bad races until the end of the season, but the mats are almost there. Followed by Mercedes. Aston Martin is battling with Alpine for third place, as only 11 points separe them. And Red Bull is battling Haas, 10 points again. And for ninth place, so not to be last, it's Alfa Romeo and Williams, which are fighting at 63 points each. So it's the current situation. Tonight is a regular 50% race. There's no sprint. And we are currently in qualifying. And Sublime, which tries to take back championship lead, is currently sitting with the fastest lap, followed by John C, his teammate. Surgeon Bildo, which is a very good qualifier. Profil, very consistent driver. Arm Assist, very fast as well. Mr. Naz, in a quest, I would say, maybe to finish in the top 5 this season. And we have a decent grid, 15 drivers, not too bad tonight, so I'm pretty sure that they are happy about that. And let's find out what's happening with Johns. He's going to the pits. Mitch here. I guess Mitch, yeah, he seems on the lap at the moment. Although no, because he's not using any DRS. Is Arm Assist on the lap? I think yes. Arm Assist is on the lap. That's following for the remaining of this lap. Heading into sector 3, into this long left-hander. And then ending into the very technical part of the circuit. Yeah, it's low gears that are better around here, and there's low traction, so having too much action on the throttle here could be disastrous. Turn into the, and like I said, it's low traction, and you have to be very careful applying the throttle, make sure that the wheels are in a straight line, so it's not going to be a very good tap run, unfortunately. Mr. Nas coming the penultimate corner to record the time. Will he be improving? He is. He goes to P4, so very good lap for him. There's a couple of drivers that didn't set a lap, actually. There's Decided here, and 35 cents, which is the current championship leader. Sets take the second place on his first lap. It's going to be interesting to see what drivers go for strategy, since this track tends to see some safety car, since it's low traction and with the dirty air sometimes it's a little hard to take these high speed and medium speed corners. We could see some cars crash into the walls and create safety cars. Hopefully not. Hopefully we have a clean race all the way through. Maybe just one safety car to reshuffle things around if the grid is split. But yeah, I would say that most of the drivers don't really want some. So this is another corner where it's really hard to gauge the throttle. Depending on the setups you run and on the tire temperature, you can take it flat out. You need to have a good line as well. Just touch a little bit of the curb, not too much, because otherwise the car would be unstable. Yeah, heading into a lot of straight lines of this circuit, DRS zone and overtaking zone. So we have Sublime, which is preparing his next lap. No, he's in sector 1, so he's just started another lap in Hispania. It's really a technical track. Abu Dhabi. You have to be very careful going into it. Just spin the car around. Surgeon actually just did a lap. I have some problem with my headsets and my sound makeup from time to time. Sorry about that. So I was saying that Surgeon Bildo is reclaimed the second place with a very good lap. He's only one time behind Seb. Can be found in earlier laps. I think we have Prof. Bill on a lap right now. He's ending it. Let's see where he's going to end up. Into the wall, and it's the end of his qualifying session. Yep, last turn of this track is one that you have to be careful on. If you apply it throttle just too fast, you may end up into this wall, which is the pit wall actually. We have a legendary driver from Canada named Porsche, which really liked to crash in the pit wall back then. Became famous for it, obviously. And I must admit that he was pretty fast in qualification, but a number of times he hit the pit wall during the race. It's pretty amazing. So John C, I missed it, but was on the lap, improved, and claimed back the second place behind his teammate Seb. Here we have Dirty preparing a lap. I'll set the map to full so I can see better what's happening all over the track. Oops. All right. And we have Dirty, which is on a lap at the moment. Was very careful through this right-hander. Didn't take it flat out. And we have a yellow flag in sector 3. In one of those corners, there's a Haas that spun. I think it's Trevor, or any. But he continued. So it seems that Dirty is improving on his lap. Or is he? I'm not too sure. Take the short line into this left-hander. Into sector 3, technical part of the circuit. Maybe just a gear too high here. Per gear would be the recommendation. Oof. Had a little moment there, shifting up. The upshift to make sure that the car stabilized, and he improved by 2 tenths, but it doesn't make anything for him in the standings. We have Annie, which is also on a lap, finishing sector 3. Let's see what he can do. Hopefully he's not spinning around this time. Yeah, very patient to go on the throttle, and he improves. He actually goes 4th fastest. Very good lap from Annie. And we have Decider, which is on track for his first recorded lap. We'll follow him in a bit. unfortunately for him, made a little mistake here. Won't be able to record this lap. We have Sublime which is out of the pit for its final lap, I believe. Other than that, I think we have no, pretty much everyone is in the pit. So let's watch Sublime as he goes into his lap. And I think that's a purple sector 1 for him. The game is not glitched. Goes out of this chicane, this alpha chicane, which is very technical to take. Very hard on the traction. And then he hesitates a little bit on the power on this long left-hander. Goes into the technical part of the circuit. Stay in third gear. Have a very good line through it. Goes on the power. Lifts a little bit there just to make sure he doesn't spin the car. Will he be patient on the throttle this time? Oh, almost lost it. And yeah, it didn't beat his lap. It was his last mistake, I think. How's we have on track? We have 55 cents. We should watch him. He's our current leader to the championship. Will he be able to improve? Will he be able to take pole? No! But he splits the McLaren on the front there. Still have very fast drivers on course at the moment. John C. and Savage. Closely following each other. Let's see what happens with him. And that's a purple sector for him, I think. Negotiates that well in third gear. Goes up to fourth. Stabilize the car. Get into this curve. Will he get the power right on the last corner? I think yes. And that's pole for him. And what about 35 cents? He finished third. Because of this. And that was a very good lap from John C. at the end. It's going to be very interesting to see what's happening with all of these guys during the race. So like I said, our championship leader is 55 cents. He's going to start third. Sublime is following. He's going to start just ahead. Although Sublime is not known for having good starts, so we will have to pull something out of his hat to be able to keep his position on the start. And Profil will have to do some sort of a comeback race if he wants to stay in the fight for the championship lead. Very exciting last lap here from John C. Managed to beat Sub by 200. And we have 55 cents in third place, Savage Mode in fourth, Surgeon Bildo in fifth, Annie sixth, Mr. Naz in a very good seventh place, Dirty 2 Saucy in Hate, Mitch in 9, Profil in 10, unfortunately for him, had to retire from the session, Trevor in 11th, Incense Party in 12th, Decided in 13, unfortunately he wasn't able to set the lap he wanted. He got El Chris in 14 and Arm Assist unfortunately disqualified as well in 15th place. So yeah, here's your grid for tonight's race. On this note, I'm going to get another Corona. And here starts the formation lap for this Grand Prix. Let's have a few things on the board here for you guys to watch. So everyone started on the medium tires, but for John C, who's going with the alternate, the only one going with the alternate strategy. So it's going to be interesting to see if it pays out for him. And here we go. So normally, as the game says, it would be a medium to hard strategy. Although the hard tire is a very tough tire to carry around this track, since it's already a low grip tire and that this track lacks of grip at a lot of exits. So yeah, let's see if John C can make the best of this tire and keep his lead. I'm pretty sure he will have his teammate and 55 cents not far behind, following him closely through these first laps. Normally, I would say that the tires are comes even in terms of the hard and the medium around lap 6. So if he managed to stay with him until lap 6, he should be in a very good position for this race. The Sharona is about to start as the drivers are getting on the grid. Warming up the last bit of tires that they can, doing some burnouts and some weaving. And we've got the red lights. And it's lights out, and away we go for this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix America Series Tuesday. And as expected, Sub doesn't really have a great start, but he's keep fighting with Alonso, and we have Savage Mode, which had a very great start, which is now second. Sublime pushed him, and he's now back in second place. 55 cents is fourth. I don't think we had any incidents during this opening lap. We still have a battle with Alonso and Savage Mode. They're side by side. Let's watch this. 5 cents is using all of his DRS. He's gonna dive down the inside here. Makes a turn, leaves some space for the other driver to go around, and he beats him very cleanly. Very good overtake from 35 cents. Savage didn't have a very good line to escape that. And we have a lot of battles. Here Phil started from 10th place. He's now 7th. And he's chasing Mr. Nas. He's got Dirty Too Saucy behind him, Rad behind him. Is he going to be able to... It's very tricky to overtake in the third sector, so I wouldn't think he tries something here. He will probably wait until the next straight. But hey, very good start here. And like I said, we've got Sublime, which is right behind John C. It's going to be very hard for John C to get out of the DRS zone since he's on the hard tires, and that they're pretty rubbish at this point in the race. Really hard to get them to the right temperature. And Sublime is coming closer to him. Will he try to move on the outside? Yes, he does. Maybe it's a team strategy here. Maybe he decided to let him pass. And we've got a Ferrari in the pit. And Mitch retired from this race also. And do we have a safety? No, okay. No safety car. And we have a move from 55 cents on John C, which really struggles with his hard tires at the moment. But he's got the good line out of this turn. Will he be able to keep this place? No. And he's got even Savage fighting for his spot at the moment. So a very good fight up there for the lead of this race. As Sublime is making the best of it, breaking the DRS distance. Very good fight up there. And Phil is still 7th. Didn't found a way to get in front of Mr. Nas on this lap, but I'm pretty sure he's trying really hard to do it. As we have, a car, a McLaren, John C, which goes very wide there. I think he was pushed from the racing line that Savage used. And we have Surgeon Builder, who's trying to make the best of it at this point. It goes very close into the first turn. This lap. I'll follow him a little bit. He's gonna try a move here. Since his tires have a lot more grip, I think he'll be able to do it in the next corner. Oh, he touches him, and he spun, unfortunately, going into the braking zone. And that is pretty good for Phil, which is now 6th. And he's following Mr. Nas, but Mr. Nas seems to have some crazy straight line speed up there. He's not even in a zone where he can try a move. And he goes deep in the corner, unfortunately for Phil. As 55 cents is back in the sub-DRS zone. Sub, which is bottoming on the circuit. Maybe his car setup keeps it pretty low from the ground to have more downforce to negotiate the third sector, preventing him from being top speed in the straight, but giving good grip overall in technical parts of this lap. And as you can see, it seems that 85 cents have some struggle keeping subspace into this section, actually, and we'll maybe catch him on this road. He's already 30% DRS, and we have sub, which is now 29%, so he's still consuming a lot to keep his lead and to try to break DRS from 55 cents. And now we have John here on the hearts. I think he will start to catch up between lap 6 or 8. We'll start to get better lap times and catching on those medium tires rubbers. Phil is still very far from Mr. Nas. Trying really hard to get close to him. Now he's got DRS, and Mr. Nas doesn't have DRS on John, so it should help him a little bit. Let's see if he's able to pull a move in the next section. I don't think so. I think he's a little bit too far. And Mr. Nas got great grip out of that corner. other battles we have on track here. Henning is following his teammate Trevor really closely. These guys had a podium a few weeks ago. I think it's their best results. Let's see if they're able to manage other good results tonight in Abu Dhabi. Still is following this map closely, and 55 says close the gap with Sub. Let's watch this battle as it's for the championship. And 55 says go with the fastest lap at the moment, and he's putting a lot of pressure on Sub. Lifts a little bit to make sure the car doesn't spin, and we have a car which is in the middle of the track. It's the Aston Martin Chris. What's happening with that car? It was right in the middle of the track. Oh no, it's the car decided to retire from this race on track. Maybe he retired in the pit and his car got to exit the pit and it's retired by itself. Probably what happened to me a few races ago. And we have now very tight gap between the two drivers up front. I think 55 cents is going to go for the move on the outside. Will he be able to do it? Sub really protects the inside of the corner. We're going to have to wait to see 55 cents try a move on Sublime. Oh no, as he crashed and touched Sub while spinning around. So this is going to be a really hard hit to his championship. And Sublime lost some spots as well. Prof Phil is now closer as we watch these very sad images of the 55 cents car on track. And this triggered a safety car, obviously. So I think most people will say on the current tires they're on, risking the hards at this point, I'm not sure it's a good strategy to go for. There's Trevor, which is going to try it, I think, because he's in the stands and I don't think we have any damage. Let's watch. Oh yeah, he has some damage, wing damage, so he had to go anyway. He's gonna put the hard tires. No, other mediums. Oh, that could be interesting. If there's another safety car late in the game or in the next laps, it won't be too much affected by it. And there's Armistice behind them, which had an unfortunate race. I don't know what's happening with Armistice. I think he had few incidents at the beginning of this race. He's the back marker at the moment. Safety car will allow him to catch up a little bit, but unfortunately for him, it's going to be pretty hard to regain this race unless there's another safety car. So at the moment, leading the pack, we have Savage, which took advantage of the Alonso crash. I really think that while spinning, Alonso maybe hit Sublime's car into the beginning of the third sector, which made Sublime spin at some point. Or maybe it's just a driver's mistake from Sublime. I didn't get to see because we were in Alonso's car and he was all the way around across the track. 180, doing some ski moves around there. Can't go switch on this circuit, unfortunately. And yeah, Mr. Nas is sitting in fourth position, defending very well against the Professor Phil. So I'm pretty sure he's having the race of his life at the moment, fighting real hard to keep this position. So like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, used to be a lot of safety car on this track because the walls are close and there's a little traction zone. That's actually what happened to Alonso. Just took the wrong angle on the curb, gave a little too much throttle, and this car started to spin. You have to be very careful going on the throttle on this track. It's a big advantage actually for people running traction control because it keeps the car really stable on the track, places where it's super hard for people not using it to get the good grip and make sure that the car goes through the corner without any incidents. pretty sure Sublime he's got a little less weight over his soldier finishing this race, since his biggest rival is not going to make a lot of points from this. If I'm correct, I think that Alonso finished all the races he started this year. So let me have a look at that. Oh no, he did not score in the USA, but other than that, this season he had a very solid season. 3 first place in Miami feature race, Spain and Brazil feature race as well. 3 second place in Netherlands, Mexico and France, and 2 third place in Miami Sprint and Singapore World Cup. So a very good season. It's very unfortunate for him that he crashed. As we are going to have a restart on this race, the safety car is going into the pit and Savage is going to restart this race as we speak. They're going into the pit straight and it's red flag. We are racing. Very calm restart. I think something may have happened to Trevor. Oh, as the Ferrari goes into, and it's Sargent. Unfortunately for him, the last races weren't very good. He's now behind his teammate with that spin. I don't know if someone touched him or whatever. That's very unfortunate for him. As Armistice is trying to regain and isn't able to do it as he spins again. Very bad, very bad racing weekend for poor Ferrari drivers. As, oh my God, Sargent spun again. Maybe seeing his his teammate in the middle of the track. Well, that's a very sad image here of the 2 Ferraris being the back markers of this race after a few spins. Abu Dhabi is a track for spinoramas, that's for sure. As John C. now takes the lead of the race. I think Savage had a moment as well, spinning around. Don't know what happened, but now he's with the Ferraris, a butt marker, still closer to the rest of the grid, so he should be able to regain. Dirty Too Saucy had a spin as well. So this track, when the tires are not at a good temperature, is brutal. As we have a John C, which now has a big advantage for his tire. The safety car came very good for him, as he's making the best of his hard tires at the moment. Breaking DRS with Sublime, which will start struggling for grip in the next laps. And Mr. Nas having a very good race. Still P3. Still managed to stay ahead of Phil, which is a second behind him. So maybe Phil is lacking a little bit of straight line speed here to try and move on him. Maybe Nas is going with lower wings, which create better aerodynamics in the straight line. We also don't have DRS at the moment, so it's not really helping his cause. And he's already 30%, 35% ERS. So I think we're set to be pretty not too busy on this race. The top 4 is going to be very interesting. I hope for Mr. Nas that he's able to achieve a good result here, obviously. He's been here for a long time and he's been a consistent driver, showing every week, so it would be good for him to see very good results. As I say that, I may have jinxed his race, and we will have another safety car as the safety car goes on track. And it's the end for Mr. Nas, which had an outstanding first 10 laps until he crashed. And now situation has changed for our leader. So from here on out, I think that most of the medium most of the medium drivers are going to go into the pit to switch for the hards. For John, it's going to be a little early to switch for the medium, so he's a little bit screwed, this strategy here, because of that second safety car. Yeah, so looking at the Discord in the moment, 55 cents is really, yeah, he had a moment, and unfortunately for him, I think it's gonna hurt this championship. Well, he was our championship leader going into this race, but from here on out, it's gonna be, I think he will drop to the top 4, if I'm correct. It's really going to hurt him unless anything happens to Phil and Sublime on this race. And we have Oz as well in the top 5, and he is now top 4 right behind Phil. So as I said, medium drivers should pretty much all come into the pits, and Trevor is 5 laps hold mediums, so it decides to stay on track. So it's going to be interesting for the restart. Might create some good battles in the first few laps after it restarts. We also have Armistice, obviously, which is going to jump a few positions. So this is a very good safety car for him, as he will start back from 4th place. I think he would be wishing for another safety car before the end of this race, so he could go pit again and keep his position, because his R's are going to drop around lap 24, 25 for sure. He's going to lose pace compared to the others. Well, let's follow our championship leader. Not our championship leader, sorry, our race leader at the moment. This is right behind the safety car. Having a very nice slipstream there behind the safety car. So I don't know what happened. Maybe Sublime had some damage to his front wing, but he lost some positions there. His Prof Phil is now ahead. I think. Oh no, I know why. It's the double stack from McLaren. Because John switched to medium tires, and Sub went back there and was owed by his teammate into the pits to put the hard tires, so that's why he dropped back the order. That's the thing, like when these things happen and everyone's on the same strategy, it's going to create a little of a mayhem for them. As see on the Discord, Mr. Nas is very disappointed by his racing. Unfortunately, he had such a good start to this race. Was Petrie when he had an incident into the pit lane. Well, not the pit lane, but the pit straight. So go take a Corona, buddy, and you've been driving really well in past races. I'm sure something good will happen to you before the end of the season. 3 races to go with the sprint and actually it's 4 races to go, since we're going to Australia also. But Saudi is a sprint race, and we should finish the season in. Hang on, let me see the calendar. Oh no, we end in Saudi, so there's only 3 races left. My bad. As we will have a restart, and everyone is very, very, very close on this restart, as Trevor is leading the pack on his 7 laps medium. 7 laps old medium, sorry. And he's followed closely by John C, who's probably going to try a move within first laps. As we have also an Aston Martin Valkyrie, which is following Henny very closely. And we have Instincts Party, who's been overtaken by Sergeant Williams. So a very good regain for Ferrari. They were back markers from a lot going into the second safety car. Helped them regain a lot. And we have Harnesses now P4 on his hard tires. He's already losing some time to Professor Phil. As we have John C, which is trying to move here on the Yas. And I think he'll make it stick. Yes, he does. Very nice move here for the McLaren driver. Let's see if Phil is now able to pass Trevor and put some challenge for the championship to John. We still have Sublime and Phil, which are in a very tight battle in the championship, only separated by 1 point. World champion contender. Sublime looks like he struggles a little bit on these hard tires to get them to temperature and get a good feel of the grip around the track. So we have a very nice sunset at the moment. Phil's using a little bit of ERS here, but he seems to lack a lot of straight line speed. Overall, he has been following Mr. Mass for so long and not able to pass him. So maybe his setups are not optimal at the moment to make overtakes him. As I say that, he's trying a move to the second straight here on the outside. And we make it stick. Oh, racing a little bit side by side here, but I think, yeah, it's pretty much done for Phil. Good move, Phil. Make me lie. That's John C on the medium tires. It's going very well, but may have to pit before the end of this race. Once again, Phil has a moment here. The hard tires struggle for grip. The fastest lap of this race on the board. Trevor having a nice slipstream behind Professor Phil. I think he will have the DRS was reactivated. I think yes. He should have DRS on this straight. He's got a lot more battery than Phil. Is he gonna be able to pass him? We have another car with the car from the race, the Ferrari with Harnesses. Nothing really went his way tonight, so as we have a very weird move here from the drivers. Braking on the curb here for Trevor was a little harder than expected. Professor Phil went very deep in the corner, so a little bit of shenanigan right there. As I say that incorrectly, proves that this move was a little bit sketchy. It allows subs to catch the pack. So I think that when you look at this, Sub and Professor are going to be in a fight for the win of this race. If there's no other safety car, obviously, because otherwise John would be really much in the fight as well. Since I am not sure he's going to be able to keep his medium tires performing until the end. These guys are pretty much in the fight for the lead. I may be wrong. Maybe John has some secrets to keep his tire alive and will be able to manage the gap. And also these guys fighting really hard. It's helping him create some distance. Phil is going to try and move here on Trevor. Trevor keeps it. As they go side by side into this corner. Ooh, that's dangerous. As Phil is putting a lot of pressure in Sector 3. And it's a great view that we have of this battle from the car of Sublime. There's Annie. Really close as well. All of these cars are pretty much packed because I really feel that Phil doesn't have the straight line speed he needs to be able to pass Trevor and break the DRS and go to a good pace. The DRS is just preventing Sublime to pass him at the moment. Middle of a train here. This Phil is a way better line going to this section. He's going to have a great run for second place. Once again, he just doesn't seem to have the speed. He's going to try the outside again. Went for the switchback but had to back out because otherwise he would have made contact with Trevor. But Trevor's defending really well at the moment, but I really think that this setup from Phil is not working properly. Maybe with clean air he would be able to go faster, but since Trevor has a way better setup in the straight line than that, it's really hard to overtake on this track other than in the straight lines. I think he's a little bit screwed here. The top six is going to be battling for pretty much the rest of this race, honestly. Sublime's having a lot of pressure from Henny as well. Oh! As I say that, they touch going into this first DRS zone. And now, I think they're going to go too wide. Here into this next corner, into the chicane. No. El Chris decides to back out and let Annie go. A lot of red lights flashing here, so I would say that El Chris is in a good position in terms of the RS. Annie is 8%, Sub is at 14. Phil is trying to regain the RS as he really needs it to be able to go in front of Trevor. But I think he's just chilling in the DRS, trying to keep with him into the technical part of the circuit, which I'm sure his setup is a little bit better on. And John C is now having an 8-second gap with the second place. So I think at this point, if you just manage the tires, goes a little less fast, and is gentle in the throttle, he could be able to finish the race on his medium tires and just have well played his strategies today. These guys are battling real hard back there, so that is helping him a lot. It's the real definition of a train. Phil is trying to use a little bit of ERS, put some pressure on Trevor, as we've got this nice alley shot showing the Parabolica. And the car's entering Sector 3. Phil goes very close into this section of the track. He's just not able to pull the move though. Great look at the strain. Oh, as Trevor finally decides to pit, which allows Phil to take second place. So now it's going to be interesting to see if he's able to defend against Sublime, which seems to have... Hang on. Sorry, I had a little sneeze. So let's see if he's going to be able to pass Professor Phil. I guess the Sublime has a little more straight line speed in his setup. With the help of DRS, will maybe be able to pull a move. As he now needs a very good exit out of this corner, which Phil is very good at taking this corner though, so it's going to be pretty hard to attack him on this. Unless he makes some mistakes. So I think from now on, there's 9 laps to go. Phil is just going to defend as much as he can. Sublime will probably try to recoup a little bit of the RS before he get a few laps on Phil. And Henning is putting a lot of pressure back there. He's very close. He's going at a very good pace. And Elchris is following closely. So this race is not over for these 4 guys. As Trevor went on soft for the remaining of this race, he'll be going for a fastest lap. We'll see. Pretty sure that John C will hop on softs if he decides to go to pit. But it seems like 18 laps on the move, which is a lot, so I'm very curious to see how it comes out for John C at the end of this race. As we have a 3-way battle here down that straight. Aston Martin, Valkyris is side by side with Annie, and they didn't touch. They kept it clean. And now going into the second DRS zone, I think Sub is going to be under pressure from Valkyris. Yes, because he doesn't have DRS on Phil this time around. And he managed to defend third position from Valkyris, which is going really fast. And it's going to be hard to defend at this rhythm because the battery. As Valkyris goes off track. And yeah, fall back in 5th. Maybe a little too aggressive into Sector 3. Didn't have a good racing line. So he had to take an alternative line, the fantasy line. Obviously nothing sexual and recommended here, just like a funny line. Henny going very close to Sublime. Goes for a better exit line out of the chicane. Doesn't get the power right though. Phil, which is now keeping some ERS. We'll probably be able to get a fight to John C. I don't know. It seems like John is not slowing down at the moment. At this point, we don't really seem to be trying to recoup some ERS. They're just spamming as much as possible. Sub is really trying to get into filthy ERS here to stay in the fight with him. Did not get it. He's gonna use everything he's got, but now I just think Phil's got so much more ERS that it's earthing a lot Sublime to be under 10%. Because when you're under 10%, the car just doesn't have the same power. But when we have flag, and the Ferrari of surging when spinning again, I think. Doesn't seem to have any damage. Unfortunate race for him and his teammate. Which Armistice had to retire from this race. And John is keeping the 10-second gap with Professor Phil. And 32 Saucy goes to pit, and I wouldn't be surprised if he decides to retire from this race. No, he goes on soft and maybe goes for a fastest lap since he's in 10th position. Still can apply. As it seems that Sublime is going to have DRS. Finally, on Phil. Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be able to overtake us. If he can just chill in his DRS for a couple of laps and regain battery to be able to put a fight. That would be great for him. I'm pretty sure that Annie back there is also waiting for his moment to try something and be on one of these steps of the podium. Chris was in a very good position to take second place, but had to go through the fantasy line. Sparty makes a move, I think, on Savage. Savage makes a move on Sparty, it's not clear. Having a good fight here. Guys are on the same tires. Obviously something happened here with Savage because he had a very good start of this race. Had to spin somewhere in the circuit and had to drop back the order. A very fast driver. Trying to regain his race, and it might not be over since there's 4 laps to go, and great battles ahead. It only takes a corner where people go 2 or 3 wide, and then could be back in the fight. So Chris is preparing for his next move. He's got a lot of ERS to spend. Danny is only 2%, so he's just trying to put everything he's got to get in front of Sublime or to follow him. As Buffalo break the DRS once more, and he is starting to regain a little bit of time on John C, which is doing an amazing job with these medium tires. Beginning, I was sure he would have to repit at some point, but it doesn't seem like it. If he loses a second per lap from now on, it's going to be fine. He's going to be finishing first anyway, so very good drive from him. Very, very good drive. Oh, as Amy takes a little too much of that curve and makes a spin. Now Chris is back behind Sublime with more than a second. Will he be able to get back into his PRS? He had some PRS in the back pocket. Seems like something possible. Yes, it is, as he's very close. Sublime didn't seem to have a very good exit from this turn, so he will have to defend against El Chris for the remainder of this race. John keeps dropping in front of Phil. Medium tires must be really hard to drive at the moment. As he's being very careful in the throttle, make sure not to make a bigger mistake. Going half throttle going into this right-hander, so he's really cautious. The tires must be screaming, honestly. Grip seems really hard to get, but I still think he's going to be fine with the advantage he has in time in front of Professor Phil. And as we speak, now Chris is probably going to be able to put a move on sub on the next straight if he's got a good exit from it. Like he's gonna have a better line to attack. Oh, lacks a little bit of grip at the rear, seems unstable on the exit. So everything this could be a redo. Live to fight another day. Unfortunately, everyone seems so close, but didn't have a lot of action. Everyone was pretty much stuck in the train going into the straights. As we have something that happened in Sector 3. I think it's 30 that may have spin here. Seems like it. And we'll stay with El Chris. See if he's able to pull a move on sub in the last laps. Sublime is under 10% battery. I think El Chris is trying to recoup as much as possible to be able to put a fight in the 29th lap. And I think with this victory, John will get a little closer to Alonso in the standings, maybe past him. Not sure. Phil will become the new championship leader, and Sub will be right behind him. I think 3 points away from Phil, if I'm correct. El Chris needs a very good sector 2 here. Make sure he's as close as possible to Sub. Put a lot of pressure on him. Seems like the grip is very good on his hard tires. And as you can see, 18 laps medium tires for John. What a drive from him, honestly. That's very impressive. sorry for Chris. He seems like he's too far from sub to be able to pull a move here. He's got his last chance going into the next corner. The last DRS zone, and I don't think it's going to be enough for him. And it's not going to be enough for every drivers, as the race is pretty much settled at the moment. So we have El John, John C, which is crossing the line, which is our race winner tonight in Abu Dhabi America's Series for Tuesday. Very good drive from him, as we have Professor Phil, which comes second, Sublime in third, Hail Chris in fourth. Losing that car again, Savage yet regained from his race. And then we have Sparty in sixth, Trevor and Annie, the two Haas. And then, yeah, Dirty. I don't know. I'm not able to take his car. Oh, is he last? I think he's last. Yeah, he's last. So that's why we've got the Ferrari of Sergeant, which once again, he's a very fast driver, but things doesn't seem to come his way in the last races. Unfortunately for him, only P9 tonight, still in the points. So that was it. This was your Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. People are watching are pretty much going to be the drivers from this race, but I hope you enjoy watching yourself, and we'll see each other again next week as we go to Australia for penultimate round of this championship. So we'll have to keep on an eye on what's happening. If we have a DNF from Sublime or Phil, it might take this back to a three-way battle again. For now, it's John C. moment on the podium.